Greetings once more. Well, well, well. It seems our pirates are in for a little bit of trouble. They found themselves once more reunited. But trouble's a-brewing. Trouble in many fronts. And it seems it's time for, well, a lot of that to come to head. The Queen is coming. And they might just be there for the party. So, join me once more. Sit down again. My story continues. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
We've gathered. We're together.
Here's the Shackled Sea. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. Oh, God.
It is Wednesday, Tampers.
Man.
We've been playing this for Wednesday for almost 2 years.
I know, but it's just like, it's a day of the week that I recognize by like what I do in the day, and then I have to be like, what day of the week is that again? Oh yeah, Wednesday. Like the actual name of the day eludes my brain sometimes. It's just like, oh, I did this yesterday, I have to do this kind of thing.
Honestly, that's fair. I feel that sometimes. I think, I just am an idiot, but that's my excuse.
No, it's now Wednesday.
What?
I'll pass. I'll just keep using Wednesday.
I love Wednesday. I'm actually
Wednesdays, my dudes.
I second Wednesday.
I mean, it could be Wednesday. You are in Galarian.
Yeah, that's
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Happy day.
Yeah.
So like Wednesday, am I right, fellow the American citizens?
Moon day, toil day. Oh, so it's wheel day. Moon day, toil day, wheel day, oath day, fire day, star day, Sunday. Happy days.
I like a Sunday, Steve.
Sunday did stay the same.
Sacred stuff.
I just,
Like I'll stick with my Norse names, okay? Tears Day, Odin's Day.
Look,
Norse
I
Day.
only keep track of time the same way they do in the Elder Scrolls.
So you just hit T and skip time?
Yeah.
I'm a short stay kind of guy.
Anyway. So, yes, if you missed last week, there were some adventures from both groups, and they've now theoretically met up at a bar.
It's where all great adventures begin. In a bar or in the back of a wagon.
Hey, you there. You were trying to cross that border and were caught in the Imperial ambush.
Wrong wagon. Well, you're not in a wagon. Doesn't matter.
We're in a tavern. In a room, probably, at this point.
Yes. So, you will run into each other at... did we have the name of the tavern? Because it was...
Did I name it? I don't know.
This was Eliza Greenhill's place.
I know I gave her a name.
You might not name the tavern.
I open a tavern name generator.
Thank you.
Tavern on the Green.
Uh-huh.
Nope, this is Ever on the Green here in Colorado Springs. I don't want to be in
Name's
Tavern.
Billy's Bunkhouse.
Who's Billy? I don't know. Just someone this place is named after.
Yeah, I bought it
name
like
of the tavern.
30 years ago. Do you think I know? The person who I bought it from didn't know. Their name was Thomas.
Thomas.
Was he a tank engine?
Yes, actually. I mean, he's
really
very
were
sensitive
artificer.
about it. You can't say you can't point out that he's a tank engine like that. That's rude.
That is kind of rude, my dog.
Yeah, it's rude and crude, my dude.
Well, I'm a rude, crude dude.
What are we
What's the
doing?
scene
We
here?
finally got back. We finally got back together.
What's the scene as Misty and Jacub walk through the door?
God. Probably, the three of them, because they're also with your friend whose name I have to look up also. Maybe you have it quicker to find.
I can grab it from them.
Oh, and Misty, are we switching our costumes so we don't get easily followed by the?
Absolutely, we are.
You'll see Christoph there, seemingly introducing them to Eliza. So you'll see this here is Eliza, an old friend of your associates, who will be willing to put you up, I'm sure. Eliza will kind of size you folks up, honestly, and be like, so you were friends with Asmara?
Yeah. I mean, as far as those kind of things go.
Huh. Why didn't you arrive with, her?
It's complicated.
Not really.
The thing is, like, we arrived here and they were sort of like pretending to be someone else, right? And so they got like mistaken for those type of people, and then like we got separated because these guys came over and they're like, "Hey, we're from a different order, and like we're gonna go talk to you somewhere else." And for some reason, they had to like go with them for some reason, which seems kind of weird that one order could order the other order around. It really feels like they should just be able to do whatever the hell they want. But honestly, it's not my place to run. I kind of dislike this place now.
What he said, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jacub just said something.
Yeah, Jake.
We walked up to him, right? I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you walked up
like,
behind them if they haven't noticed. Eliza certainly noticed, and just has a smile on her face. It's just like, mm-hmm.
You know, Yaalkol, I'm really impressed because you really did describe everything that happened pretty accurately. I'm proud
Honestly,
of you,
it's
buddy.
the only thing I've been thinking about, because everything else has been kind of boring, other than Misty's brother, because that was kind of funny. He was like, he was really bothered that we were there.
Yeah, you did leave his place a mess.
Oh, hey!
To be fair, that was just him.
I was curious when the lot of you would notice someone walking in behind you.
They don't have very good eyes.
Apparently.
Well, two of them.
I mean, I probably would have, and just was like, yeah, they're here.
Yeah,
Because, you know, I have a massive perception
have-
bonus.
Many
He has-
eyes.
He has like a 30 perception mod.
I wouldn't have noticed, nor would I have cared.
It's only a 20...
Same difference.
24.
Christoph, who you technically didn't get the name of, but Misty knows as Christoph, will kind of clap his hands and be like, great! Anyway, nice to see you again. We'll have to catch up. But for now, I have to go back and take care of things. We'll find you. Don't find us again. Got it?
Yeah,
Did
sounds
they-
good.
What
Yeah,
did they
sure.
do? What did you do?
Oh, we
I
went
don't
to
know. I
talk to
guess
them because
we were fucking good at finding someone, and that's bad nowadays. Place sucks.
Please educate them on how not to deal with anybody.
look, they didn't give us a way to talk to them, and we weren't
Because
just going
they
to
would-
sit around waiting.
They find you.
Yeah, sure, but they didn't explain anything or give us a time frame, which is,
You didn't.
know,
You probably didn't ask questions.
I mean, it really feels like
We did ask questions.
We can have
We
we
just-
can have a conversation about this later, but I feel like we were in the wrong with this one.
The entire time when you guys are like having this conversation, Jacob's not saying anything. He's just at the bar like ordering a drink, just being ignored because he's just a
Yeah,
normal, like smiling guy.
You'll get a drink from Eliza, and she'll also be like, here's your the key to your room, then. When all of them are done, you can show them. It's just upstairs.
Dude, look, they come in pints.
They always come in pints.
That's normal.
is that supposed to be
No,
strange?
shots don't come in pints. What are you talking about?
You know what? I
Are
like
you
the-
drinking? Can that?
Strict.
Okay.
I had a long day.
I don't know.
And
You were quite
I
brave.
stayed up all night, and I didn't make Misty roll her eyes like 12 times. Not that I could see, because I really wasn't looking at her. But yeah.
Didn't you have masks on? Or
Honestly,
did they not keep those masks on inside?
No, we kept them on.
Oh.
I was more just happy about the whole you guys surviving thing.
I mean, like,
So good job on that.
when Misty becomes like annoyed, you can audibly hear her eyes rolling.
I have what I have been told is called selective hearing when it comes to that. I ignore the things that sort of don't sound nice to me. That includes people disagreeing with me. Makes my life a whole lot more serene.
It's like
I
just
disagree
ignore
with that.
everybody.
Bad way
What?
to live life.
You could tell that Yaalkol genuinely didn't hear you when you said that. Well, so now we're back together. What's the deal? Like, what happened with y'all?
Well,
I don't know. We should talk about that out in the open.
Well, then, do we want to go in the closed?
They made Missy do some terrible things, and I don't think she's ready to talk about it right now.
but
Oh no, Myste, I'm so sorry. But yeah,
yes, we can talk about it in a room.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go upstairs.
Yeah, probably private is a better idea.
so I'm going to ask for a pitcher of ale and a couple of glasses, and we're gonna take them upstairs. And I'm going to use the glasses to pour myself a couple of drinks and drink them all. I will offer none of them to you guys.
All right then.
Have
Jesus.
a pint of whiskey. It's fine.
I'm still drinking my pint of whiskey.
Holy shit. Jesus.
Yeah, Jacob's had a hard time. He's drinking a
Please
pint of whiskey.
roll a fortitude save for your
Okay.
pint of whiskey.
I'm not chugging a pint of whiskey, but yeah.
Dude, you're fucking dead, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah.
God.
That's like enough alcohol to
You're
take
not
out
a
a
dwarf. You're like...
I could be
You
there.
don't have poison
No,
resistance. Although, actually, we're like level 13
Alright,
adventurers.
well,
Our
you
con
know-
saves are really good. Well, his isn't.
Probably
Well,
pretty
plus 10's
drunk.
actually.
That's not terrible. Honestly, you're feeling it really badly, but you're not unconscious, but certainly you're probably drinking a lot more than you should.
We gotta carry him to bed.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't, dude. I'm a drunk wizard. I'm gonna start floating everywhere to bed.
Yeah, we're gonna carry you to bed and keep you from casting a spell. Looking.
I think it's
Idiot.
illegal to drink and spell.
Yeah.
I feel like-
Whoa, man, don't be a narc, okay?
Don't
I'm
spell
gonna cast
cast under the influence.
Tensor's
Don't-
floating disc, more like Tensor's floating suck this, you know what I'm saying?
Don't say it.
Got him.
Jeez.
Yikes.
If I get too drunk, I would try to become like a house cat and just like hang out somewhere with you guys.
No.
It's a
I
little
don't know
weird.
if I like this. This is evoking. This better not wake anything up in me. Anyways, so what's the deal? What happened?
Right. So we had some lovely conversations with some Hell Knights, and we may have agreed to accompany that Inquisitor guy.
What's
That
his
sounds
name?
bad.
It could get us a lot of information.
I think we're doing
Okay. I
job.
just. Is he gonna have the ability to detect illusions?
Possibly.
Okay, then Yaalkol might have a little problem. Workshopping.
I could go in my true form and just like I don't know, change clothes, see if that works.
I can change your
That's not
your
the
actual
problem.
form. I can make you into a man, the real boy.
Do you think that they would be like suspicious about if I was like a big lizard guy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
In this
I'm like,
place?
That's
Yeah.
the only one I've seen so far, but who's to say there aren't a lot here?
Me,
Like, my
there
dad
are.
never.
I've never seen one
Microphone.
beside you and your sibling.
You and your sister are literally the only two I've ever seen.
Some of you in
No
Port
idea.
Peril might have seen some of Rooksea, because the Rooksea are native
Oh.
to Grunt. So the actual lizard folk.
Yeah,
which
but
do
he doesn't look like a lizard folk.
He does look different than a lizard folk, but I'm saying
Yeah.
they are both reptilians, so, like, that would be something that possibly your average person could just assume they're the same.
He's a weird lizard folk.
We use the power of racism.
It's-
Either
Killed.
It is the power of racism, technically, because no one knows the difference.
Yeah.
No,
I-
they're not
either-
educated.
either way, I don't think a lizard folk is going to be accepted in Chelax either.
I mean, not a free lizard folk, but what if?
Oh,
we
I
do,
believe
like,
they
a
also
pair or
offered
something?
us a job of guarding the queen.
I will not.
Oh,
pretend to be
that sounds also particularly dangerous, but also I guess
Wait,
that
I'm sorry,
would
you said guarding the queen? What?
Part of some of the security details of it.
I don't know how good of an idea that is, because if
Well,
the admiral
didn't-
might be attending,
well,
that could be
did-
really bad.
didn't the guild suggest to us that that would be a good place to go to the party for
I
gaining
mean, if
information?
there's a party.
There were 3
then-
suggestions you were given.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know out of game, to be clear. My character is
If
just
there's a
you
party,
might not
that is a
remember.
great place to get the information.
yeah. There's a laboratory for someone that has for the admiral that has been doing stuff. There's an office as well, and then there's a party. I think the lab is for. I forget who the lab's for. I'll be honest. That's even out of game. But the office is for Admiral Druvalia, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and then the party is where the admiral's gonna be.
Technically, it'd be
That's what-
Admiral Thrune, but Druvalia.
Yeah, but Druvalia is the one that is
Yes.
leading. Is leading. the
She
invasion.
is technically a Thrune, though, so that's why it'd be Admiral Thrune.
Oh,
Yeah.
She is a
yeah. There's Zalia Thrune, and then Druvalia is also Thrune.
Yeah.
Abigail
listen.
Thrune II is the queen, and she is one of her cousins, Druvalia Thrune.
I'm trying. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, there's a laboratory, there's an office, and there's a party. All that have information, but different bits of information.
Mm-hmm.
I order them for most dangerous to least dangerous, being laboratory, office, party.
The party sounds boring as hell. I say we go to the lab because you said it's most dangerous. So there'll probably be a fight there.
No, it's
We
the
don't
least dangerous in terms of proximity of the really strong devils that are going to be in town. It'll still be dangerous, though.
Yeah, but we can't
Um,
fight the really strong devils, right? Because they'll just like kill us. So,
Yes.
so then like we don't want to be there, right? We want to be at the place where it's like the balance of people we can kill, but it's like a fun fight, right? So what's the one in the middle that you said? I remember a lab and I remember a party, but there's something.
Really
in the
try not to kill anyone.
Well, yeah, that's kind of
What
the
you
goal.
guys always say? Can't we like start with killing someone and then
Absolutely
maybe
not
walk
over
back
here.
from there?
Not in this.
Yaalkol, we're in this. Listen, next time we have a place that we need to go, we can choose not to kill people or go quiet. We'll just go kill people, okay? We'll do it quick next time.
All right, fine. All right, what are we doing?
Thanks. All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Revia knows Yaalkol will forget, so that's why she can make this deal.
So I
Um,
do think we should accompany the angels.
Well, do we think? What about Yaalkol? I think that might be the only problem.
Is there any reason I couldn't be the one that stays behind and just meet y'all somewhere else? I know that's not the best. I flipped through my book. Ideal. But
Close enough.
Captain Buddy, you get lost in the ship. I don't know if you being left behind would be the.
and like I said, it's not the best
Well,
situation. but
Concubine.
Concubar will be with him, so I'm not worried
Yeah.
about that.
I wouldn't exactly be by myself, and also more importantly, it might be just smarter.
And if
Honestly.
Fierceville does need to contact someone, you and Concubar will be here.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna go there, I think that's probably wise, because all of our disguises, gesturing to everyone but y'all, rely on physical things.
I'm just not very recognizable in general because no one knows me here.
I think the laboratory and the offices are less ideal than the party. People like to brag.
Yeah, that's why they suggested the party. The party is just it's dangerous.
They
I'd
are.
be willing to do it though.
I am not as familiar with all these things, but certainly, since I may be accompanying our captain here and watching out for him, all seem very dangerous to me in general. I mean, one of them was a office of of the entire Chelaxian navy. I'm sure there is plenty of defenses there and people on guard at all times.
Most likely.
The other was apparently an experimental laboratory for, I believe, the Inquisitor folk that was mentioned. Perhaps then members of his own organization might guard his laboratory of some kind. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, a place where the Queen will be.
Can easily blend in on the fact that you are not a stealth creep.
Yeah, it's no longer a skill I'm particularly good at.
Breaking in is not.
Long has Concubine been here?
I'm somewhere.
I am here the entire time. I just have not been speaking up.
You should really try to notice it. Like,
My hat is very foppish.
I
My
say,
all
yeah,
is lost,
jerk.
Concubine, you're great.
Yeah, I never notice him either.
Not as foppish as mine.
Well, I had to switch out hats because we
houses.
were in disguise. This is my less foppish hat. This is my disguise foppish hat.
But still
I
quite.
miss my hat.
Yes, I do miss my brightly colored clothing.
I look longingly into the mirror.
There's, what mirror? There's a mirror here?
Probably.
I look
I
longingly into
snap
the
my,
wall.
I
where
snap my
imagine the
finger
mirror
in
would be.
Jacob's face. You okay? Waves hand in front of Jacob's eyes.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm just five, you know. Can I just?
Maybe you should put the drink down.
Yeah, dude, I'm good anyways. Go. Just give me like half an hour, and I'm here. I'm listening to everything. Steel
is-
mind.
You know, it is like the morning.
Oh crap! It is the morning. I hate this place. I want to go home.
Yes, we all hated Chile.
Well, I'm gonna take a deep breath, take some water, and I'm gonna go and say, I don't know what exactly we're planning on doing, but I believe in you guys. And I'm gonna lay like right there, just like lay back.
Okay,
Fair enough.
you need that nap.
We still have a little
So-
bit of time before we have to go meet. Still a visitor.
Well, you should take a nap too then.
I'm fine. I've stayed up for long.
Fair enough. Honestly, yeah. I mean, it's not that bad. It's only a night so far. But so you're gonna meet with this guy, and then how are we gonna? And then what is our plan to potentially get disguises to look like the Thrune agents to get into the lab or office?
Could attempt such a thing, but I think observing this man may lead to information.
No, I agree, but we likely will, depending on what we get. But I think that's a good angle to start looking into.
Jacub, like half asleep, we're like, I can always just take his body.
Do
Like,
not.
one
Uh-huh.
right?
We're trying
Oh.
to be subtle.
Well,
I mean, like,
it's
I
actually
could
not a
eat-
terrible idea. If we have no other way of getting in, disguising like the Inquisitor we're meeting would likely mean they wouldn't question any orders. If we get in and then get out quickly, just leave.
Suppose you
unlikely
could
to cause a
replicate
problem.
the voice as well.
Actually, a really good idea, Jacob.
They're all good.
Let's keep-
What I'm
let's
here
keep-
for. I bring the good looks and the good ideas.
Let's keep that in the back pocket. I think that's a really good one. You're thinking like a pirate now, Jacob. I love it.
so you guys know, like in Jacob's mind, by saying I can steal his body, it doesn't mean like I'm gonna transform him and physically possess his body. He's like, I could just do it. I could just steal his soul and become that guy.
That's
Yeah, but I
not
didn't know
okay.
that. That's not. First of all, you probably
Holy
couldn't. This guy's
shit.
saves are gonna be insane.
I love
So-
I love method actor Jacub.
But you could also, I don't know, there's a spell called vocal alteration, and then you could just polymorph or seeming.
Polymorph.
like, Jesus Christ.
You don't have to just steal a man's
He's
body.
gonna do
literally.
magic jar.
No, Magic Jar's ass.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
man.
literally
It is
steal
so
it.
bad.
Guys, I'm doing possession. It's way different. I can just choose
Oh
what
my-
I'm going to.
It's different, guys.
We start with Magic Jar and then we see where it goes from there. That's how we
Oh,
play
yeah.
that
One
game.
magic jar, dude.
God, magic jar's not great. Yeah, it's like a really short range.
Well,
That's how it
I
puts.
guess we have a plan then, for now.
Well, I guess let's do this one step at a time because that's what we do. And then we will, I guess, skip forward to
Yep.
us
Oh,
meeting
goody.
with the Inquisitor.
All right. So that's happening later on today, if you recall.
This is
So
like noon.
as everything will begin in about an hour, as the city will come abuzz, and it just so happens that, of course, with most inns, you're on the main thoroughfare. So the main thoroughfare outside of where you're staying will become abuzz and busy with hundreds of people lining up for a massive parade and procession. The procession will be certainly a show of strength, as first a entourage of soldiers will move in, walking down, followed by a group of Hell Knights from the Order of the Chain, all dressed in full armor, and followed by a carriage carrying, of course, the Queen herself. This is, of course, she is accompanied by a fiendish-looking character. I don't know if I had the picture available for the Queen's entourage. I did. Okay, you can see the Uranus on the side in her image there that I gave you guys. So there you go. But also a flight of about a dozen other Aranists will kind of accompany the walk-in, and it looks to be a garrison of bearded devils taking up the rear. So like a couple dozen of those. Just demonic forces accompanying the entire thing here and moving in. Fiendish, infernal forces. I said demonic, it's infernal. There I go.
There you go. They are different.
I know.
Very different.
My brain tries to
We know what
do
you
the one
meant.
or the other. Yeah. Anyway. Certainly, this procession will go on for quite a while. And it'll followed up by, after that, a number of various nobles, seemingly part of this entire procession, trying to show off their strength with various things, as this big parade is seemingly organized by the Lord of the City. And we'll eventually head to what would effectively be the kind of town hall / reigning area of the... God, that's a hell of a name. The Archheathen.
Yep.
Archheathen?
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay, that's a badass title. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bro.
The edgiest
The
country in this
The
world.
Archheathen. I mean, I guess
They're
heathens, I guess, right?
Yeah.
They worship devils,
It sounds like a
not,
Swedish
not the
rock
gods.
Yeah.
band. Please welcome the Archheathens.
Archheathen.
Battle band.
Archheathens.
Yeah, they're headlining for Kiss.
Like the Moors, guys.
Chargathian Ninian.
What a name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Did you got something stuck in your throat there?
Did you say that 10 times fast for me?
No.
It isn't enough cuss to do that, you know? Gotta get some Hebrew in there.
So certainly that will be your call to kind of head towards the city hall, since you are effectively meeting with the.
Before this, we will go over the presented hierarchy. Jacub's the leader. Myste is the second in command. The rest of you don't matter.
Yeah. That's been established.
That is
Woohoo for not mattering.
Just make sure we're going over that. You're like mega low rank.
Yeah, I only say something if I'm talked to directly.
But I'm still proud of you guys, though.
Don't ever say that in front of this Inquisitor. Only insult us.
So, effectively, the town hall of this is a bunch of government buildings that are surrounding the Archheathen's manor. So you're heading to the Archheathen's manor.
Okay, I set it on fire.
Jesus.
I drop a tactical bailer.
Dude, I think I've been cut on the edge of this nation.
Bro, it's a devil nation. I mean.
Anyway. Arriving at the manor, certainly there will be a cluster of activity within the region here. Since it is sort of like the manor is the center of the government area with a bunch of these other government buildings, all kind of in the area that in the noble district that has this really nice view of the harbor, honestly. Anyway, certainly, you in your Hell Knight garb will be met with by a detachment of the Order of the Chain, who, in their, shining black metal spined plate mail, are kind of hard to tell.
Losers.
Can't really tell if they're people that you've met before, that kind of thing. But one will kind of like in a, muffled because it's in the plate mail, be like, "You've been expected. You want to head right inside." You can see still that it seems like a lot of the military garrison is kind of like from the city has definitely kind of broken apart and gone into security detail. Those that accompany the Queen have come in defensive positions too. You can't see any more of the airiness in the sky. But also, it seems as though the government district is occupied by the bearded devils. So they are around and taking off defensive positions. So, certainly, they are showing off. As you are led inside, though, you are, of course, greeted by a kind of dark-haired man who seems to be greeting everybody that's coming in. He has a very beautiful woman at his side, and also a creature which I guess some of you might identify, a 12-foot tall insectoid creature.
Ew.
With a massive kind of spear it walks with.
Oh.
Knowledge
I
planes?
Absolutely not.
12 foot tall. Cool. I think I know what this is just from being a person.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Yeah, it is a Gelugon, an ice devil.
Okay.
Oh, didn't know that one.
Anybody else can roll local, though. Any that has it could roll this to know something.
Sure, I'll try that.
You assume, you don't know what it is, because you just assume, but you know that if this person that's here to greet you is indeed Charthagnion, then he is accompanied by an advisor known as Oronothos, which is a devil advisor that it's like frequently seen in public with him. So it's sort of like the lord of this town, the archheathen, has a devil advisor.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would make sense, right?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Greetings. Welcome to the manor. I've been expecting you, more guards to everything. Well, as I have already greeted many members of the Order, and I have run a favor for my old friend, Lictor Adam, allowing you to come here and also help out. Certainly, your presence is welcome to assist in the defense of our great city while Her Majesty is here, and to show the unity of all Knight Orders under her Queen, Her Majesty. I thank you. We'll give it kind of like a little bow.
Yeah, it will return as a bow,
Mhm.
but like, I don't know, do they prostate more like the Japanese do? Like you bow, I bow lower? Like, how does that work?
I don't think they do.
They don't really do that.
Alright, let's give them a salute.
If you're unaware, this is my advisor, Oronathos, and my wife, Iridelia. I hope that your time in the manor here is a fine. I'm sure when High Inquisitor Calcios is ready to meet with you, he shall be able to inform you of what your jobs will be here, since you are directly working under him.
Oh, perfect. We'll be awaiting orders. Thank you.
Since you aren't currently on duty, perhaps relaxing. You have been traveling and offering a little bit of hospitality to travelers, especially one from a city that seems to be having so many troubles to the north. Perhaps one of our sitting rooms you could at least take a seat in. Perhaps one of my servants could at least offer you some tea. Something to relax a little bit before your true duties begin. But I would understand if you want to be strict and get straight into your duties, though.
There you go. Well, I thank you for the offer, but I must continue to mold these. I'll look somewhat disgustingly to my recruits. I must continue to mold these young recruits, and they have not yet earned a rest.
I understand. At very least, somewhere to be out of the way while everything is being organized. There is a party going on, and certainly there are many, or beginning to be going on, and certainly the many coming around the manor here for the various meetings with the Queen. So
we'll make sure to make ourselves the least trouble we can be.
Excellent. He'll have someone accompany you to like a small sitting room off to the side. It has a very nice bright view looking out into the west towards the coast and the dock area. So you get this like very nice view of the harbor and stuff from where you're sitting. And you're allowed to. You could stand around if you want, or you could sit in the seats that are there. You'll be informed that the High Inquisitor will be informed of your arrival.
I guess we'll stand there for now.
I think that Misty doesn't sit and will just kind of look out towards the
Mhm.
docks or whatever.
I will stand sturdy.
After about maybe 15-20 minutes, a person will kind of come in and be like, are you the Hell Knights that are being assigned to High Inquisitor Calcios?
That would be us, yes.
Excellent, follow me. The High Inquisitor has been allowed the usage of the Archheathen's office in the manor while the Queen is in town. And he's quite busy and has asked that I bring you directly to him.
Lead the way.
Great. He'll lead you through the building to a room where he'll kind of knock on the door. The door will open, and there will be kind of like someone sitting behind a desk, kind of working. You can see that they are very unique in their appearance, especially because as the door opens, they will stand up. Their face is heavily painted with some kind of like very pale makeup that seems to cover the entire thing. Their outfit is also a little bit eccentric, I would call it. Very shades of red and blacks. He wears a hat on his head, a very wide-brimmed hat. You can see that built into the outfits are leathers, and there's kind of like, very... The kind of spined motif that happens a lot with very infernal kind of things seems to match a little bit too, along with a holy symbol of Asmodeus brazened on the chest of his armor. Kind of does look a little bit like one.
They got they're like Victorian styled in terms of makeup, but like turned up to 11.
Yes. So you are the guards assigned to me. Excellent. Come in, come in. I'm quite busy at work. There's so much to do today, and tomorrow, and the next days, and however long Her Majesty decides to stay here.
Yeah, I would imagine that the city would not rest until it's met its
How
the Queen's
is
expectations.
Vicarius Torchia?
That is the watch guy, right? Or the order the gate?
That is indeed the leader of the Order of the Gate.
Okay.
There you go. Unfortunately, I don't believe I've ever had the graces to have met them, but I've heard only the greatest of news of their health.
I mean, that does make sense. Even amongst members of his own order, I do understand he's quite a mysterious individual.
Stay cautious and guarded.
I do also hear that things didn't go well for your order at Crackspike. Sad to say. Is that why you were traveling to gain new recruits, fresh blood from somewhere other than Bzak?
Can I make a history check to what is
Sure.
I did hear Misty mention this stuff.
Crackspike is an area nearby to their order, and they recently faced... Recently, the order that you're a member of faced a defeat against the Strix there.
That was a rather unfortunate event. And, we pride ourselves in being prepared. We were ultimately unable to overcome, but we've learned quite a bit and have already begun our preparations for the next advance. I would imagine.
Seems as though there may not have been lessons learned from such an event. But still, nonetheless, if your order feels like it has strength with a new plan, I certainly can't deny that you're allowed to attempt it. But a cautious message to send up your order. Please be reasonable that defeat should really only be seen once.
Oh, believe me, I don't imagine anyone within our order plans on tasting defeat a second time and would stick around.
And what of the Whisperwood? What's been going on there? I hear so many rumors.
I'm afraid we are not at liberty to discuss such rumors.
I understand. I'm not a Hell Knight. I'm merely a member of the Inquisitors. And of course, the leader of the Inquisitors. A very, very different order. your groups are independent from us after all. Anyway, as long as you do your jobs and maintain order in that, and make sure to keep Zach in line, I don't think we'd ever have any issues as you kind of shuffle some papers, you know. And certainly we wouldn't want any of my friends showing up to assist you. Now, would we?
No.
That's quite excellent. Well, I do respect you signifiers. It is a thing that I myself have dabbled into some arcane magics. Though the strength that Asmodeus gives me is always going to be more powerful. Anyway. Your recruits are definitely something to be desired. But if you are here since you require some form of job, I'm sure I can find something for them to do. As for you two, I much prefer not to have anybody accompanying me. Certainly plenty from my own organization would have called for someone to accompany and protect me on my ways, but as many of them know, I need no such protection. There are very few within Chelaxian, nigh this area of the world, that would even form a trouble for me, and I have my own ways of escaping if such a trouble happened. So,
Well, we are here to assist in whichever way you see fit.
you've been forced upon me, which honestly does create some ire deep within me. But as it is not your fault this forcing has become, and certainly some words given towards Her Majesty certainly convinced her to push her opinions on myself also, I've accepted your guardianship. You two will accompany me for now. Feel free to stay in the room. I'm not dealing with any material that is necessarily classified to a member of the Hell Knight Order right now. Your trainees, well, I'll have the assistant they've assigned me for my business find a place for them within the house's guardianship, if that be acceptable. For now, of course.
Of course.
Once the party starts, I will have to shuffle you around or do something about that, but and certainly you won't be truly accompanying me to the party the same way. You'll be watching more from afar at that point in time. Sure, I can find places in various rooms for you to watch me. You can hang out with the guardianships of the various nobles and maybe the Majesty herself when I speak with her.
Of course, but we will make sure not to be a burden. We'll hide somewhere in order to keep a good measure of security.
Now. You really shouldn't hide. It's not really truly needed. Shouldn't you be showing off your fancy armor and proving that your order and many of the Hell Knights are the strength of Chelaxian?
Well, this is the thing about the Order of the Gates, is that we pride ourselves in being always prepared, cautious, and ever vigilant in order to stem all sorts of, I would say, crime. We do not need to boast for our actions speak louder than any sort of boasting I could do.
Well, make yourselves comfortable then. He'll call, he's like, fellows, my name is Rel, sir. Whatever. Send these 3 to work with the guards watching the grounds, the estate. These 2 will stay with me.
Ooh.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds.
Okay.
If you were to allow
Follow
us
route.
a moment before my recruits get taken away, and I would like to speak to them, ensure that they are the utmost behaved, that would be a great honor.
I guess that's true. You want to have even recruits that are honestly just being grabbed still show off that they have that spark of Hell Knight in them. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'll step outside with them.
Mhm.
And I go,
Remain in the room as the move.
how at a game, how long are we gonna sit? Is it till the party starts? Do we know?
You don't know. You think evening, probably. It's probably mid to later afternoon, because like it was around a little afternoon that the big parade came in, and then you kind of headed over here, and so I'd say like if we're talking time periods, probably like somewhere between 2 to 4. I'm just kind of generally estimating. I could give a more exact time if you wanted, but assume that like when evening was falling, the main party and ball and stuff will happen. Probably the Queen's in town here for business, but probably like this is an opportunity for many nobles to probably give like gifts or swear allegiance to do things. So the Queen is probably going to be filled with an afternoon of having various meetings with the local nobles and stuff like that. Probably most definitely having a meeting with the Archheathen at some point in time. And once these main meetings are done, then it would be moving on to, you know, the party that's going on, where rather than, you know, bootlicking and, you know, gifts and stuff like that and more formal stuff, it'll probably be a little bit more informal things. That might be the time that, you know, favors or trades and stuff can be done in amongst some of the nobles, because the Queen has been accompanied by a few nobles from the capital too. So not only them, but maybe even with the Queen herself, you know, like it's like you're not greasing wheels at the formal meeting necessarily. You know, that's your open stuff. It's the shady backroom deals that happen in a lawful evil country that happen at the party kind of thing. You almost have to think about it.
Makes sense. Yeah.
As we talk, I will reach to my bag and I'll give Revia, so I assume that she can, like, I know she casts spells, a scroll of the Inquisitor version of the telepathic bond spell, which just lets them talk like telepathically for that's extended. So the 6. I don't know if you can use it. As a player, I don't know if like a cleric needs to make a check to cast a divine spell, but I figured
It's not on my list, dog.
It's a level 5 Inquisitor spell.
I'm not an Inquisitor.
You're
I'm
not?
a cleric.
Revia
I'm a Warpriest.
uses the word the cleric spell.
Yeah.
Dang, dude, I
So,
thought you were Inquisitor this whole time.
I can't. No, Momo's Inquisitor.
I'm the Inquisitor.
Oh, okay. So then, okay, I'm gonna go as we leave. Can I like nudge Momo to come with me?
I remain in the room.
Well, all right. Then I'll go outside and be like, just let me know. Don't do anything crazy, but just let me know if anything happens. I don't know how, but just figure it out.
Don't worry, I Jacob. Fine.
I want to get the vibe of this man.
Sure. Roll a sense motive.
36.
Certainly, you know, even as sort of like you're dismissed and stuff, he's being very serious right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's very concentrating on like looking over some papers. He looks like he's like reviewing some things, occasionally signing something and kind of moving it over. He's doing very bureaucratic stuff at the moment.
Yeah.
But you definitely get the sense that occasionally he will like look an eye up towards you, like kind of keeping an eye out. And You do get the sense that, like, certainly it's one of those things is he's not necessarily relaxed.
Okay. So he's on guard.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
When he looks up at me,
Mm-hmm.
I assume... What is the general feeling? Is that to make sure I'm not doing anything, or to see what I am?
It's more like a glance towards you, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
You know, it's sort of like, as he, like, switches papers, like, you'll see one of his eyes kind of, like, look towards you, or, like, he'll kind of, like, glance towards you with both eyes from, like, as he's kind of, like, leaning down, kind of, like, those eyes kind of, like, pointed up towards you or something. Occasionally, like, a lot less, he will kind of glance towards where the door would be while still waiting for, you know, Jacub to come back.
But like 30 seconds later, I'll step back in.
Once Jacub returns, certainly, like, it'll be very similar, that most of the times he glances will be towards you, but occasionally it will be towards Jacub, too. He'll work on that for maybe about 20 minutes. Kind of like, and certainly you get the sense that during that entire time, with that check, he's been basically maybe sizing up what's been going on. But he has had a focus on you about it.
Okay.
Just
Like
staring.
any inkling of if maybe he's suspicious of who I am?
Hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
If he does have one, he hasn't, like...
Just shown it.
He hasn't shown it. He's been very stoic in his entire thing, at least. About 20 minutes later, he'll, like, as he finishes up one set of papers, and he's like, Randy! Whatever. Yes, what is it? He'll give, like, I need this to go to this person, this to go to this person, this to go to this person. He'll like, list of things of, like, these papers that he's been working on, and granted, and, like, he'll hand a thing of papers over. Don't return until you've assigned all of them, and I also need you to run to my offices down towards the docks, and my personal laboratory. I need you to retrieve a book of mine, a journal. I so happen not to have it with me, and, of course, one of the later meetings I have with Her Majesty will require it, and I'd rather not have it too late. Can you get that for me? I'll be fine without you till your turn, Randy. Yes. Okay. Great. He'll start kind of looking over the next set of papers as the man will leave, and he'll be like, Remus is doing well.
You will see a... Did he say my brother's name?
Yes.
There will be kind of a cock smile, and Misty will cross her arms and look at him. How obvious.
Not very. But they were.
Yes. They are fools.
Indeed.
Hey, I feel like I was doing a good job.
But you are lucky in a few things. According to official records, Asmira Zaito is dead. And Asmira Zaito did no crimes.
Now that is interesting.
It is, isn't it? Not to say a one Remus Zaito might find someone who looks surprisingly like Asmira and, well... But it's not my place to inform him of everything that knows about.
Is he talking about Wizard Brother or...
Sorry, I get the names confused.
Laden is the Inquisitor.
Laden. I'm supposed to be saying Laden then. God damn it. I've mixed up my
There
brother.
are 3 siblings, I understand.
Yeah. And how's that one spelled? I got to change it over here. I've copied the wrong one to my notes.
Let me
here.
grab it for you.
Yeah.
It's in these photos.
I copied the wrong one in this part here in my notes.
That.
Thank you. change my notes here for this part of the session. I just have a few notes here that I made, you know. So. Yeah, just a few, and for today's session that that happens. Of course, Laden would be very unpleasant to hear that you were here, but I am not one to.
No, I make a habit of upsetting the poor boy.
He's also away on business. It's
So I've heard.
It's very rare that business takes one of his stature outside of Cheliax. But certainly, he is.
I had hoped for a union here, but I suppose had to wait till later.
Well, yes, there was a terrible fire, an accident. Many died, and unfortunately, Asmera was one of those that passed away in that church.
Truly tragic.
Very tragic.
A country without their High Inquisitor, how could they ever progress or survive?
Well, they found a new one. A much more superior one. One who understands what it means to serve Asmodeus. Asmodeus before Cheliax has always been my position here, especially as High Inquisitor. The Queen knows this, and accepts my presence here. Even though many would mistake me for a dirty tiefling and believe my blood inferior. No. True devil blood travels through my veins.
It's very impressive.
Well, I wouldn't say so for my mother, but that's besides the point. But enough about me. Why are you?
Oh, just thought I'd pop in and visit the family, leave a few gifts, see the old sights.
I suspect this has something to do with the foolishness of Miss Druvalia. But, as my manners often go to the internal issues within Cheliax, a dead person messing with someone that I find a fool and see no merit in means that I have no merit in seeing anything. For now.
I have no intentions to interfere with your business. The Inquisition is none of my concern.
I wouldn't say that to Laden's face. He might say something different. He'll kind of give a wry smile.
I'm gonna eye him up, try to get his vibe again.
Sure. You can roll another sense motive.
39, that's better. 15.
He seems a little bit more relaxed now.
More relaxed. Okay.
It's probably not that he might not see you as a threat, and more that, like, you get the sense that when he knows something, it was important in his entire, like, you know, he determined the correctness, you know, probably more than anything.
Okay. You seem awfully relaxed for someone staring at the equivalent of a Grim Reaper.
You are not mine.
No, I am not.
I have plenty of those that would come for my head. Many of them are from other locations, other planes. But nonetheless, as he kind of slides some of the papers over, business as usual. You can retain yourself around this place as long as you don't do anything that doesn't make yourself stand out. I'd rather not confess that I have figured something out. Though I would honestly throw you under the bus at the drop of a hat, if necessary.
Northwest.
But as there is... Well, I can't say for certain that you haven't joined a Hell Knight Order. I can't confirm that. I can't speak with an order. And I can't say for certain, and since you only appear like a dead person, means nothing to me. Just as some people appear like some very interesting individuals from far away.
A tragic coincidence.
Happens.
Only so many faces in the world.
It's so true. He'll kind of stop what he's working and just kind of stare at both of you for a minute and kind of like seemingly be in contemplative thought. You know.
This entire time, like, Jacub was just like staring. If he didn't have a mask on, you can tell that he'd be panicking this whole time.
His eyes are panicking, darting back and forth.
Yeah, like everything's sweaty underneath the 7 layers of clothes I have
Oh,
on.
no, no. Sweaty boy.
Thanks.
Now. Your friend there should be just a little bit more. Well, he doesn't have to be so worried.
You can relax.
Yeah, look, I may be the only being in this room that isn't used to this whole third levels of espionage.
It's just a little song and dance.
Politics, man, aren't my thing. But I will, if there's a chair, sit down.
There are seats in here. It is an office. Certainly you could sit down.
Question, like, out of game, with this person, that's whose laboratory we want to go visit?
Yes,
That was the person whose laboratory you possibly could have broken into.
we're gonna go break into.
Sorry. I shouldn't be laughing because it just sounds so ridiculous to think about, but,
Everything's interconnected.
What
is
the
there a
odds?
way we could, and I'm not suggesting we do it, like, actually, but this is just me thinking out loud. Can we, like, we're in this room with him. Is there, like, a move we can do? Can we, like, just, I don't know, like, waylay him or something?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a good idea.
I'm not going to engage in some form of combat with this man who of unknown levels in a hostile country.
Who you would assume confessed to basically being a half fiend.
Yeah, this man might be this man is highly likely a half.
Yeah.
I guess he only has half the levels. It's fine.
He got the bad half. He got all the bad genes like liquid.
Yeah, he's gonna be like half Dretch or something.
He's half imp actually.
He's just like. He was a little
I sit
Weasley guy,
relaxed.
I guess, from being in half imp.
I sit down very relaxed. Cross my leg.
I hope both of you are prepared for a long afternoon, one that just tends to be very boring. As much as I enjoy my job and the perks I get, there's certainly parts of it that are just a little boring, and I would hope that Latin would have taken up some of the reins. But no, someone has to play assassin or something.
You never liked bureaucracy. It was always my job.
I don't blame one bit. It actually sounds like it's back and forth.
It wasn't my idea to slaughter all the hierarchies once they betrayed the Inquisitors. Oh well. least it puts me in a very interesting position to watch everything that goes on around here.
It does.
Chelaxian is such an interesting location.
It truly is. Unstable in many ways.
There are plenty of other places in the world that are unstable. A little bit of order could go a long way. I, for one, have never really liked island life. Not quite for me.
Do you say island life?
Island life, yes.
It's quite relaxing to sit by the beach and do nothing.
Quite free and being able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, to whomever you want.
You say that there's always consequences. And certainly if the consequences aren't as big as you'd think now, the world has a way of catching up with you. That's why you have to be careful in your choices. Make calculated decisions. Being a little too foolish means that sometimes you end up on the wrong side of things. Well, my Hell Knight protectors, it's time for us to move on to our next part of things. This paperwork should be done enough for now. We have a few meetings to attend to. I believe I have a member of the House in control of the Dockmaster or something or other who's complaining about my designs. And then we do have a meeting with, I think one of the Queen's cousins, another one. Oh, very busy, busy, busy. Come now. Come.
Work never ends.
It never does it? You'll spend a nice, enjoyable afternoon going to incredibly boring meetings and having discussions on things, on various topics. That seem to be related to ranging from the defense of the city to work on in the shipyards, material that seems to be called for, to a couple of meetings, it seems, with members of the city. Like there was, he meets with the leader of the town guard and discusses things with him. You do get the sense that where he goes, he rails people and commands, basically.
Fair.
It's his attitude is always, especially on those that seem. There seems to be two types of people that he talks to. Those that he kind of seems to bride in a almost general respect for, and those that you definitely can see he just treats kind of very harshly and basically threatens them.
What's great is Jacub is getting a window into what Myste was like for a very long time.
Jacob's just taking a bunch of mental notes on, like, oh, everything he thinks is important. It's like, okay, this is how they're fighting. I don't know why it would work as a person, but he just, like, whatever he thinks might come in handy one day. You know, the inner workings. And also, yes, if this is exactly what is her name? I wrote it down. Is Mira Saito's was like, then yeah, that was Myste's name, right?
It was Myste's name, yeah. Which is
kind of like, keep that in mind. Like, is Mira was a whole different person once upon a time. It's probably closer to what she was like.
So. As the evening's kind of wearing on, we'll take our break here in a second. I do want to have one more quick little bit here before we do. There seems to be, he'll be like, there's one final meeting I require. And, company meeting. He'll actually head out to the garden of the manor out back, where a man who is obviously an Inquisitor is kind of standing around looking very impatient. Not one you recognize.
Okay.
Marius, I said I would be late. Your Grace, I must insist that you continue to not deny us not only our watching of you, but proper connections here. I understand that you find it necessary to make deals and communications with many of the nobles. You know as good as I, many of them find themselves outside the room Cheliax would allow them, and should be punished for that. Calm yourself. There are plenty of things that are made allowances, and we have a unique job here. Ours is not to prosecute things. Leave that to the Hellots. We are those that seek to undo things such as treason. Those that would seek to damage Asmodeus. Those are our jobs. Wheeling and dealing in dark and terrible ways that makes for some problems is another thing, and plenty of them have their own infernal contacts. Let hell sort them out. There is something I do need you and your group to do. I don't want you to act on it, but I am well aware there does seem to be a group of individuals who are outside of our jurisdiction in town. A few deals with the government has seemingly made them official. But I don't trust that they're not going to be up to something. Keep an eye on these ghosts, would you? Inform me if they do anything that would deter my plans. As you wish. The man will then move off. Really strange to think that this fine town here is such a dangerous place, perhaps.
Most of these cities are quite dangerous.
Perhaps. Well, we should get ready for a party. Come on. We'll take a break here. He leads you off to get ready for a party. So, anybody needs a snack, drink, bathroom break, go ahead and have them, and we'll be back in a little bit. Oh, I did switch back over here. Now I did. Yay! Okay.
Hooray!
Welcome back, everybody. All right. Well, it is party time, and all of you will be assembled for the ball. You three trainees are going to be assigned guard duty to the ball. So, now that you've enjoyed your day of basically doing, like, generic guard work around a mansion, now you get to have generic guard work at a party where people are dressed in, like,
I feel like this has taught several people that they never want to be normal.
Yeah, there's, like, expensive, like, foods and a feast in front of you that none of you can enjoy.
So you say.
I'm resisting the desire to yoink things.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of
At
hand?
any point, do I cross paths?
Sleight of ham.
I mean, you know that they're here and they've been assigned, while you are effectively, like, shadowing an important person at the party. So you're similar to what they're doing, except you're following someone, basically,
Right.
at relatively, not like super close distance,
Medium pace.
Yeah,
or
medium pace.
distance.
They're just watch everything and make sure nothing goes wrong. You know, that's kind of their assignment. So,
Fun.
slightly different assignment, and totally wonderful and fun. So, it certainly is a... I don't know if I can call it a party to remember because it's a.
I just we've
It's a
been to
party to
several
forget.
we've been to several pirate parties. I feel like any other party is ruined.
Yeah, like there's certainly drinking and food, but it's not the same kind of party as certainly you would have had in anywhere in the Shackles. This is a lot more held back. It's a lot quieter. Most of the time, the people that are here are basically seemingly like having discussions. They're dressed up in like, rather than showing up in their honestly just generalized garb, they're in like expensive looking clothes and dresses and stuff and wearing all kinds of jewelry. Basically, definitely a little bit of flaunting is involved.
Yeah, that's the same.
Yeah.
You know what? That's pretty chill.
Normal party.
We'll be listening for any juicy gossip to sell to some Theoskil people.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God, I hope so.
Oh yeah, I'm paying attention to what's going on around me.
So there is a site that certainly you, Misty, would never
boy.
have thought you would have ever seen, and it is definitely a very unusual one. It is a massive devil,
Okay.
walking up to a food bar and just grabbing some things.
He's living his best life.
Gigantic wings, searing eyes, claws and a bite.
He's just doing his best. He sees people.
No.
He was accompanying the queen, and now he's walked over to like the food bar. He's just trying stuff out now.
As long as he
Jesus
stays
Christ.
off the furniture.
I mean, like,
I don't
knowledge
think
plate.
there's not a chair here that could support his.
No,
fat ass.
knowledge plates. Anybody that has it, could go,
Absolutely not. I will not click the button. I have a 0 in.
No.
Sure. It's a pit fiend. That's not something you'd see doing this. This is really, like, I'm sorry, Jake. You don't know a lot about pit fiends. You just know this is not normal. This is weird.
But
He's
does
integrated himself into human society.
Does
Yeah.
he look like you can take on a Baylor?
Yes.
Effectively,
Probably.
they are
Maybe 50-50.
traditionally
Yeah.
equal, but that's if
I think the
one of
Baylor's
them,
stronger.
I think the Baylor is technically a little bit stronger.
and as if this one does not have any extra abilities.
Extra magic here. Yeah, true.
Because the thing
What
is,
about a
But he says the
Baylor
one I have
and
doesn't.
a sea monster?
This
No,
is
we don't have to see
This is
this on the team.
Gorthoklek,
Is there a
who
pool?
is the advisor to the Thrun family and the crown,
Damn.
basically. So he's been here since the Thruns took
You're
power.
cool, dude.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, he's also technically General of Hell, but that's besides the point.
He's just chilling.
Dude, he's really
He's
loving
just
it.
vibing.
Yeah, dude. Imagine
Just
being
the
released from
general
hell.
hell.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
The General of Hell. It's nothing special.
General hell.
I played one of those in a D&D game.
I'm just generally in hell.
That's fair.
Honestly, probably with like some local information, like you would know that this is probably unusual because normally he does in court, like to court himself in human disguise, where he can't stop his horrible evil aura of evil and like dark power, so it's not a great disguise, just like oozes corruption and fiendish power.
Who doesn't, though, right?
Uh-huh.
I use chaos. It's hidden right now, though. Hopefully. Amulet hold.
Chaos
Yeah.
and good.
Just accompany this man, I guess. Who's
Yeah, but you don't
whatever
have
he's
any
doing,
aura.
watching him. Always watching.
I just love
Always watching.
look. I just love reading up on sometimes on the backstories of some of these characters, and he's like, he really is living his life, he got into a fair and had a half-fiend bastard child with a gargoyle.
He's just living like Larry.
He just really is just a dude.
Living like Larry.
I just really like that this pit fiend just living like life on the material plane. He got bound here like ages ago, and he's like, whatever, I'm here.
Man, I could have a sitcom written about him.
Yeah, I'm the leader of the armies of hell. Yeah, I live an office life. I work down the street from the queen of Chelaxian.
Yeah, like, I spent, like, millennia generaling hell, and then this lady was like, hey, want to hang out here and, like, help my human armies? And I'm like, sure, I'll corrupt some souls, bring back some glory for hell. And then, like, you sit here for a while and you, like, realize, man, I really like frittatas.
Alright, anyway.
They make amazing lemonade.
He's literally like Satan from South Park, where he's wearing a tie.
But life gives you lemons.
The food quality's so much better up here.
Everything's nice and fresh.
Oh, anyway.
Alright, I follow this
rotten
Inquisitor
shit.
man like I'm supposed to.
Yeah, certainly there are a number of, like, chats and meetings, and, like, it seems as though every time he is getting into conversations, it's a lot less business-related, but it oftentimes is, like, you feel as though his conversations are like, hey, this is all subtle, but you've got a really good sense motive, so you can pick it up, because he's not really hiding it.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Chatting for a little while. Oh yeah, remember I know these things about you. Stay in line. And he kind of...
Just like me, for real.
He just kind of, like, goes around basically friendly, threatening every noble in the place.
That's just what Yaalkol does.
Remember, I know your darkest secrets. Have a great day!
And I will use them to destroy you. Yeah.
Physical violence is more my thing.
I'll eat your mortal soul.
Good times. Just relax. Anyway, this will go on for a while. The three of you, are you just going to continue to go along with this? I mean, you've had, like, a long day of, like, playing guard at this point.
Yeah, I could probably just fucking slip out.
I'm not going to do anything like that because I don't want to raise suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just sit there and...
I want to try to listen in to conversation.
Sure.
Well, I'm trying to
Chester.
catch everything. I'm
Yeah.
trying to also do
Well,
that too.
We're targeting the admiral that's going to lead the invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Admiral Dravalia Throne,
Mm-hmm.
I think or Zelia Throne are the two people we want to listen to,
Mm-hmm.
if possible.
Zelia has not made an appearance yet. Dravalia is there, but seems to be hanging around her cousin mostly. She hasn't really engaged in a lot of small talk, I will tell you.
I'm still just going to try to pick up any information
Sure.
I can overhear that might be useful. So, do you want a perception?
Yeah. Would be great.
Yeah, I guess if they're not about, I would be like trying to look for specifically,
It's kind of like
finding sea captains that are like here, like other not necessarily admirals, but other high-ranking members of navies. If I could spot them,
certainly
because they're like they might talk about it.
Give me a local check then. You might have or
Can Chester make this? Can I roll Profession Sailor at negative
I mean,
10?
I could also try to do
Negative 20. I'll do negative 20.
judging like
target specific people.
it's like that guy's a sailor. I mean, it doesn't really work.
I mean, it kind of does though.
Okay, well, I'm
like
looking
this
for people who
roll
are
it there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll ask Chester this.
Yeah,
them out, okay?
so certainly you can identify a number of people, nobles that might have ranks within the Navy or connections to sailing and stuff, and certainly you could use that to overhear conversations, and you can kind of like point out some of those people to Revia.
Yeah.
I assume you're just
I'll do
leaving
that.
Yaalkol
I
to
think-
like smolder on his own. I feel
Yaalkol's
like
not here.
Yaalkol is
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yaalkol's
He's
not
at
Oh,
the
that-
inn. Still,
oh,
I
that's
think,
right. You're
with
at the inn
Papa.
with a gnome. I forgot.
We couldn't get a dragon person.
He's just
past
chilling,
any-
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's eating
Vibing.
lunch right now, drinking a cup of ale.
Straight chilling out
He's
here.
having a better time than we are.
I'll roll perception, but I'm unlikely to get higher than Chester.
I don't know, you can definitely tell that
I didn't get higher than Chester's.
since the first meeting with this dude, Myste is noticeably less tense.
Oh, that's good.
So he kind of goes around like this for a while, for maybe like the first hour of the party, and for a lot of this time, the queen is basically kind of sitting in her own chair. The admiral is near her. A number of people are like coming up and having conversations. It feels a little like probably what meetings would have been like, but you know, probably a little less formal. That, you know, like they just have conversations and like, you know, food is brought over to the queen. She doesn't have to wander around. Though again, you can also sense from her she probably would have preferred to like not be kind of put as much on a pedestal. You know, she, at least at this moment, it's sort of like the Queen of Chelaxian is certainly, yes, one for formal of times, but is also a very forceful person like many Chelaxians, and therefore want to kind of take it by the things by their own hand kind of a lot. So she would probably prefer to be doing something like that and basically controlling conversations and finding who she needs to speak to. Anyway, this continues for about an hour as you kind of get threat greetings to the locals accompanying that before the High Inquisitor will basically head over to meet with the Queen. He'll go, "Your Majesty, how grand it is to see you this fine day. You're looking beautiful. Admiral? She-bitch." As he addresses the Arcanist that's kind of by the Queen.
Okay, I was wondering who he was calling that.
Yeah, like holy ghost.
The Arcanist will definitely glare at him and not say anything as a wry smile. And the Queen will kind of respond, "I understand you two have your hostilities, but I would rather you not do it in my presence. Save it." "Of course, Your Majesty. I mean no disrespect. Perhaps you've enjoyed yourself at this party fine enough. There was some things to address and speak about, and this might be a good opportunity to address them. Perhaps in a little bit more of a private location. Admiral, of course, there are things to discuss with you too. You can come along also." Same glare, like staring deathly knives at this man. Queen Thrune will kind of like consider for a second, be like, "Yes, perhaps it is a time to meet and discuss things that are important. Will your entourage be escorting you? As long as I have, of course, Contessa with me, I will not need anything else." The Arcanist will kind of chime up. "As always, Your Majesty, I am here to ensure not only your safety, but that you make the correct decisions. The General seems to be engaging himself with the locals. Perhaps a little too much. Contessa, he has served my family for generations, and you know, one, that his advice is just as important as your own. And he is left on his own wilds until he is needed." "Of course. We shall adjourn. I'm sure the master of this house has a fine place for us to meet and discuss things." You two, guard the door for us when we find our room.
Snap to attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They'll head off into like another area away from the party and go into a room and kind of like close the doors and leave you two outside the door.
Yeah, remember this. Does he have a great perception check?
Yes.
Great.
I will try to listen.
Okay.
I'll roll perception. Yeah, that's the one. 24 is kind of lame.
Yeah.
Before you roll, I
Okay.
will silence and still. What is this spell? And so I'll spend 3 points to give you one. That spell that lets you re-roll twice on a skill check and adds. Where are you? Sorry, bring up my list. It's taking forever. Oh, there you are. Okay. It's called. Is it bestow insight? Let's see here. Okay, yeah, bestow insight. So, yeah, so you get a 2 insight bonus on skill checks. You're sort of trained, obviously, but also that increases by 1 for 4 levels, so you get 4, 8, 6, 4, 8, 12. So you get a +5, but then you get to re-roll 2 checks and take the greater result.
Okay, so I guess I'll re-roll this then.
Okay.
Okay. Sure. What's the plus to it? So I can
5.
add 5. So that's a 34.
Okay. So certainly, yes. You can overhear the conversation as it begins. It's a wonderful time to discuss the plans, is it not? I prefer that we did this at my own office. I understand that you wish to share with your grand cousin this information at a more controlled to your own liking. But you forget that one of the only reasons that you're being allowed your diligence down south is because of my involvement. A voice of someone you've not heard before will kind of chime in.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that you didn't, that might have been in the room beforehand, you can only assume, but you did not see them when they were entering.
Okay.
Chelaxian has dealt with the problems down south for many years. Control over the coastlines of this area, especially over the seas around Garund, have been threatened for too long. It's been agreed upon by many that something should be dealt with. You've had your attempts over the years, though. Most of them have failed. What makes you think that this one will be any different? Of course, Your Majesty, my involvement is an important one. A few of my latest developments being tested out. Some battle experience would be good, and as I am not one to suggest winning or losing in this case, certainly I would wish for the Grand Admiral to succeed in her journey. Certainly either way, I'd get battle information that I need to help develop it even more. And improving the Navy is something that is always seen as a wonderful thing. Control over these waters is incredibly important. And as of late, there are certain individuals and groups that have been opposing to us. You are correct. I will not fail like others have. I am much more capable. And yes, with the High Inquisitor's assistance and developments, we will be much better situation. But as I had suggested to you previously, my plan means the eye is not a threat to us. Be able to cross safely and securely. With your approval, as soon as the vessels are ready, we'll be ready to make sail. Crush them and eliminate them. Dear cousin, understand that as our family has always been one that is not as strong in the Throne name, we are seeking to ensure glory to it, not allow our side of the family to have fall into disrepair, to weaken anymore. And certainly you are aware of the insults that bastard Bonefist has done to us. Not once, but twice. He has directly insulted Cheliax. I believe he directly insulted you. Yes. But was it not Cheliax's forces that he robbed from? Was it not Cheliax's forces, our naval power, that he disrespected? And the attacks on the shackles, the previous ones, we were foolhardy. We thought ourselves beyond the call of the eye. I have allowed my heavy investments, the money that much of, goes to Cheliax herself to ensure the political strength of the Thrune family. I have allowed some of this excess money that I have gone to the fleet. Perhaps I would have spent it on more personal things again. And yet again, the situation I hope would not occur. But this is opportunity. We just require your blessing for this case. It really is an informality, isn't it? Requiring something of my blessings. Certainly the other members of the Admiralty would not argue if you went on your own, and many of them would see this as an opportunity for you to embarrass yourself and fail. Success over the shackles would be a powerful thing. I certainly cannot throw the full might of Cheliax's navy there. It'd be foolhardy. And I see this entire thing as foolhardy. I would not see you fail. But even with the great and powerful High Inquisitor himself backing you, I do not see success yet. We have always underestimated those to the south. I'm not a fool. So, I wish to see more of what this plan is. More information. I need to know exact details of what you are going to do. And I need some kind of reassurance that pirates won't make a true nation. They war amongst themselves to be a threat. Currently, we've maintained enough over them. What happens if you make them more united against our strength? Another military force in this region would be very unfortunate. And there are plenty of other issues that have to be dealt with. An interesting conundrum, indeed. Perhaps demonstrating my invention would be a good way. I've managed to develop a few things that are quite interesting. And maybe that will change Your Majesty's idea a little bit. Give you a little bit more insight into what's going on. And once things are ready, our Admiral's ship can march off to sweet victory. Or death. But certainly, a few test things can show off where we're going now. Once the entire fleet would be outfitted. Well, it doesn't matter if we win or lose. If my inventions are successful, your power will grow. It's why I'm here. Why you agreed to allow me to serve the great nation of Chelaxian. Not only for my connections, hell, but my genius and my ever so wonderful idealisms on how to torment and kill your enemies. A voice of the Arcanist will speak up. As much as I disagree with him, he is not bastard-born of hell. You know as good as I that his connections are true, and his support is as strong as yours is. His mind is also very sharp. If he thinks that his toys are enough, as much as they despise him, I cannot argue with the fact that this might not be a bad idea. Regardless of the victory, agreeing that I would rather see the Admiral win than lose, like all of us here, I'm sure. Seeing if what he's made works, or fixing any issues, may very well be a good reason enough. Perhaps then we will have a demonstration tomorrow, and we will see what your inventions can do. I will retire. I've grown tired of this entire charade. Next time, if folks want to speak to me, they can come to the royal court themselves. To a party I'm hosting. The Queen will get up, the doors will open, and she and the Arcanist Contessa will leave. Inquisitor will kind of walk out, and will kind of like turn towards the two of you. Ah, a productive morning. I'm sorry,
Very.
evening.
Yes, it is evening.
Ah.
Very good.
It's been a long day.
I will nod respectfully.
Now what to do about you two? You've done your job here, and I'm sure the Order of the Chain would love to throw you off on me more often. Maybe I'll allow you to relax a little bit. Perhaps tomorrow you can spend your time in the training grounds of the local watch, giving your trainees some tips.
Perhaps.
I'm not going to be doing anything so dangerous.
For such an entertaining evening, allow me to provide you with something. I will pull out that music box. Give this to my good friend, and you'll be provided with a very entertaining show.
He'll kind of like raise an eyebrow and kind of look at it. and kind of like you kind of wry smile for a second, and then kind of like grab it and then pocket it. When I have the opportunity, certainly. But he's going to kind of lean in and whisper a little bit. There will be one thing I shall tell you. Perhaps a little warning. Spies are not the only folks that have found their way to the shackles. I'd watch your back a little bit.
I always do.
Anyway, you're dismissed. As he finishes talking, he'll kind of like yell into the room, Admiral!
Like,
Old man!
Go and collect Revia and Chester.
You like hear him yelling in the background as you're leaving. Have a great night. Excellent. Meeting tomorrow. All right. You will be able to grab the other three, certainly. Or the other two, I'm sorry. Forgetting that. You smartly left a dragon man
Thank
home.
God we decided to do that.
He would have...
It would have made some very much complication.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd your day
Did
go?
we hear anything useful, Candace?
You did overhear a few things.
Ooh.
So, the big rumor that seems to be going around between the people is, of course, that Admiral Thrun is planning some kind of operation. Certainly similar to what you heard before. There is like talk of like rumor is that because of her connections that was with the church, which I mentioned previously, were something that you heard about. So something was going on with the church and her. There does seem to be kind of like talks and rumors that, especially because she was hanging around with the Queen and stuff like that, the rumors were kind of chatted about it, that she's doing more than just bringing a fleet of ships, that she seems to be maybe perhaps trying to coax a infernal host out in order to assist her invasion. And certainly display of infernal forces here in the city are enough to kind of like give merit to that kind of thing. Also, like, you will notice that no one seems to address the High Inquisitor. They always try to speak around his existence. They discussed that the Navy's developing new and powerful weapons that have been tested out in a laboratory near the dry docks and the main shipyards. Rumor have it that they will be, using some of these things in like some new military things. Maybe even what's going on with Admiral Thrun. Maybe not. You will also overhear that there has been a large shipment of materials coming into the area from a number of regions. For one, a large shipment of materials were coming in from Alkenstar. Another thing is there apparently, rumor has it that there has been some strange going-ons between Chelaxian and Thuvia. A lot of money was heading into Thuvia, and no one knows why. Apparently a member of the Thun family was paying someone off there. So that's another thing you pick up. Let's see here. The other one is, there was speak of new dealings with Nidal.
What's that?
The land north of Chelaxian,
Oh, okay.
another lawful evil nation.
They're like a vassal, right?
They are kind of.
They're kind of a vassal. But it does seem that there is some discussion and rumors that maybe whatever's going on, because there's been some like major diplomacy that seems to be going on with Nidal, but what this means is like what is being discussed is unknown. But because of the rumors and this entire kind of invasion thing that's being talked about, you will also see there's kind of like rumors that maybe they're trying to negotiate rather than using a lot of their fleet to call upon some of Nidal's fleet to supplement the Chelaxian forces on what the admiral's going to do. Not invest as much as their own forces.
To drop the Baylor nuke on Nidal. Sounds good.
Anyway. Those seems to be the major religions, or major, talks you can pick up. So.
Okey
And the stuff for Alkenstar. The stuff you know about Alkenstar is they're the people that invented guns.
Okay.
So firearms and firearms science comes originally from Alkenstar.
It's true.
So they're gonna have guns, guys.
I mean, technically you do too.
Most of our crew does have firearms.
And a lot of warships are equipped with cannons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have cool guns. They have
Well,
They may
just
have
because they were
new-
first doesn't mean they're the best.
They may have newer weaponry though.
And Alkenstar is the best because a lot of other nations are kind of weirdly crippled in their development. A lot of this kind of stuff by magic because they're just like, why can't we just do magic?
Yeah, not the shackles though.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of people in the shackles would be like that. There's superstitions, but like they don't invent anything in the shackles, really.
It's not really
They
any
steal
inventors here.
Yeah. Alkenstar is like, magic will either work, not work, or explode. Let's not do magic.
Well, guns will either work, not work, or explode.
Technically, they work because they're not like a lot of the dangerous ones. They're dwarven made. It was the dwarfs left in the mana wastes.
Damn dwarfs.
I know. They invented guns.
Mana waste.
Yeah, it's the mana waste. Is where Alkenstar is. It's a dead/wild magic zone. It's not pleasant.
Oh, then yeah, that makes sense why they don't want to use magic out there.
I mean, it was like a massive
Not
swath
allowed.
of land where there was a war between two magical nations, and what was left over is like a scar on the Galarian, and some people decided to live there. And you know how they survived? They invented guns and the steamwork. So yeah. Anyway, that's Alkenstar for you. So hearing they're doing anything is like a pretty big thing, especially if they're ordering in a shipment, because Alkenstar is very like. I mean, I'll let the people that have like local will know. They do tend to control a lot where they ship things, and they tend to ship like a lot of things that are like kind of. They keep the best for themselves and will ship lesser versions of things. So it's like, if you get a cannon from Alkenstar, it's probably like a couple generations behind where they're at, kind of thing. We'll sell you like our antiques, because we have better.
Fair.
But if a lot of money is going in there, who knows? Enough money could convince anybody of something. And you've already visited Thuvia, so they get a lot of money there too. They're a very rich nation, so something's going on with Thuvia is also not great sounding. Anyway, so those are the rumors you heard. We'll go a little late, but why don't we have at least a little bit of a meeting of you folks meeting up again?
I think we go meet back at the tavern.
Yeah.
I collect them from their guard duty,
Mm-hmm.
and we leave.
Yeah. Party's winding down, and certainly the main reason for you to be there is wandering off. the High Inquisitor himself. But you can head back and meet up with a, the tavern, again, it's Chelaxian, so they don't have the most upbeat music and stuff there, but certainly, there's like a little bit of music going, and it's not terrible. It's some entertaining stuff. It's a tavern at night. It's no Shackles tavern, but it'll definitely brighten some spirits.
No random fist fights or murders happening.
Yeah, that's a.
Those are my favorite part.
Those are literally the best parts of it.
The murder of the fist fights. I'm sorry, that's a little different than those.
I assume the murder
Yes.
for Revia, fist fights for Jacub.
Yeah.
Definitely fist fights.
No, it's a fist fights.
Murder
When
fist
people
fight.
die, they stop paying for your tavern.
Anyway,
If people die, there won't be any more fist fights.
certainly, Conkabar is going to be in there. Probably, honestly, gambling, while Yaalkol is probably just sitting there drinking and eating next to him.
Just
Yaalkol-
having whatever's hot that
Yeah.
they're still cooking.
He's been, and you have no idea what's going on. He's been trying to teach you some form of card game.
So, when do I yell hearts?
No, it's Yahtzee for the last
I
time.
walked past Yaalkol and just pat him on the shoulder.
I don't care if euchre is French. I don't care. Please don't tell me the rules again. What? Oh, hey.
Upstairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna head up. I'm gonna stand up and say thank you.
Ladies, gentlemen, I'll take my winnings.
What I bet?
Man, you got a haul.
It is
You
a
kept saying I was big blind.
skill.
You played poker.
So you'll head up to the room, where you get some privacy.
Shut the door, lock it.
Yeah.
What did you guys learn?
I will repeat what we picked up.
Explain what we learned.
Yeah. There.
Oh, was I supposed to be learning something? Because
No, you were content
okay.
and fine.
So there seems to be 3 major rumors floating around that have some connections that are the more important ones. Some kind of trade deal with Alkenstar, some kind of deal with Thuvia bringing a lot of money in, and a lot of diplomacy with Nidal, where rumor is it's something to do with their navy. Again, the Nidal one's probably the least confirmed, but also none of these have perfect information.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I'm going to recommend we don't go to the laboratory.
Why do you say that?
Well, we had a very lovely chat for a little bit. He knows who I am, I know who he is. We've mutually agreed not to fuck with each other.
Okay, so
Sounds good.
I'll go to the other
So the
place.
office then.
So the office will be Heartsburg.
All right, sounds good to me.
And I'll
That is really
explain
good.
what I overheard from the meeting with the Queen.
Yeah. In case anybody missed that, summary of my thing is, the Queen is very hesitant on this entire invasion thing. High Inquisitor is like, I can test my weapons that I've been developing here. Doesn't matter if it fails or succeeds, it's a live weapons test. The older person, which you assume is the great uncle of the Admiral, seems to harbor some kind of grudge against the Shackles, and specifically Bonefist. And seems to be pouring a lot of money into this, also.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it seems, though, that because it does sound like her section of the Thrun family is like one of the lesser families within House Thrun, maybe getting a little glory is the entire reason behind this. And they seem to have a way of dealing with the Eye. Again, they didn't mention how.
Right.
But they did confirm that they have some way that makes it not a threat.
They do know a way around the eye.
Yes. Well, whether through it or around it
We're
specifically,
repeating that to the party,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
they have some way to make the Eye
Yeah,
not
well-
affect their fleet.
We're we're pretty confident on that. So I think we're expecting them to cut through the eye,
We just need the hard evidence.
which in a way is that's true. You're right, 100%. The office will probably have it, right? That we suspect. Is that if there's any written evidence of it, it'll be
I
there.
think it would be in her office. And then we do need to observe this weapon.
Yeah, I
or
was
this
gonna
device
say,
or whatever it is.
That's gonna be hard if it's. Yeah.
Well, there's a public demonstration. So
Oh, okay.
it shouldn't be too difficult.
It's ship-based
Yeah.
weapon technology. You really can't hide that, so
Yeah.
you have to have like a big old demonstration of something.
All right. Well.
Successfully demonstrating is also a deterrent for people to attacking and shit.
Yeah. And whether or not he's perfected it, it does sound as though like he's far enough along for live tests of said weapon.
Confident.
Yeah.
So naval access, that's our goal.
Yes, we were specifically, I guess, Zalia Thrones, or was it Drevilia's throne?
Drevilia's
Names
the
are
admiral.
mixing in my brain. Drevilia's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Drevilia's the admiral.
Mhm.
Too many Thrones, man.
There's a lot of them.
Yes.
Yeah. I assume we know the location of this office, right? I think that's what we asked at Thieves Guild.
Yes and no.
Building, I think.
It is in the.
Oh yeah, we know the building, not the specific office. That's what.
Yeah. It's in the Navy and shipyard, and it's in the main headquarters of the Navy.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a tough break-in.
Yeah. Which is a very important building.
So I guess our goal, I think
I think the
I think
office
we-
break-in is the last thing we do because we do that and we leave.
Yeah.
and we teleport out. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause at that
well,
point
how
we'll have too much heat on us to be here.
seeming here, if they don't have any magic people in that office right away, we could actually just like seeming with the magical disguises and just like walk right in.
Yes.
Possible. But I think they would have some magical detection.
Well, I think we should investigate that and then determine our approach.
With something as organized as Chelix, certainly Myste, you'd know that they would have at least the most basic magical protections to tend to be.
Seeming's a high level spell though.
Yes, that I would have to take a look to see if it would be able to overcome anything.
Seeming might get through.
Seeming might definitely get through. I will definitely say.
This is like literally the use case of seeming.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, that's definitely
otherwise it'd be
is probably the best bet. Yeah, so Nalos is last. Is there anything else we need to do? Or still like waiting?
no, I don't
on
think so.
people?
Yeah, we'll see when the Thieves Guild gets back to us, I think, if they have anything else. But other than that, I think we're really at the point where we see this demonstration, and then we hit their office, and then we teleport the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. That's fair.
The Thieves Guild was probably going to try to find a little bit of information about things like the office or something, just to like, they might be able to give you like a general layout or something.
It'd give them a lot of money.
Yeah, you did give them a lot of money, and they are doing their best to get some information. So, if you want to wait for that. At very least, tomorrow is going to be the weapon demonstration. After that, if you want to wait on the Thieves Guild a little bit, I can. Or maybe you do have someone that can actually communicate with them and see about putting pressure on them that isn't a random person breaking into their place.
I could sending the looter. If he's not immune to it.
Probably would be
I
very
could.
unhappy about
I
that.
unfortunately don't have sending. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have this nice person that knows that's your friend runs a tavern and totally knows of like your other friend, and is also pals with them.
Yeah. It'd be funny though. I'm terrible.
Be a little rude.
No, I agree, but
Just walk back
I don't
down
like
the
them.
sewers. What are you talking
That
about?
I feel like that's even ruder.
no, we shouldn't. But hey,
They told
You know,
us not to come
they-
back.
Yeah, they didn't give us any way to talk to them. We weren't gonna just wait for him, hope they would show up again after we paid him 1,000 gold. Okay.
Wait, you paid
What?
him
You don't
1,000
trust the
gold?
Thieves Guild?
We upfront paid. I upfront paid him 1,000 gold, so I wasn't gonna just let him.
Yeah, that's
know?
fair.
I was gonna make sure we got our stuff.
Look, at very least it was extortion money to, like, not to let people know who you were.
Yeah, but I wasn't worried about that because I was like, we're gonna make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you make a good offer.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll leave it there. As there was a nice party, people partied down, you got to enjoy.
Boring party.
I mean, it's upper crust party. It's nobility party.
Boring.
It ain't going to be
Pirate
fun.
party.
It's no pirate party. That's very true. Well, I have to admit, the food was probably really good and probably had a lot of stuff shipped in from places that probably doesn't
We
show up
didn't
in the
get to
shop.
eat it, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, you got to enjoy the smells
Look
of it,
at it.
and look at it.
We probably got some food.
Ooh. You were probably were allowed to eat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd just be sitting there for hours just not eating.
I mean, they probably give you like some time stuff.
Leftovers.
At big parties, they always have there's always a side dining room for the
Usually
staff,
is, yeah.
servants.
Like serve.
Yeah, it's probably stuff that just wasn't ready for the outside. So yeah, you got some pretty decent stuff. It just
Or burnt food a bit,
yeah,
overcooked or a little undercooked. Stuff that they wouldn't serve or it has deformities, right?
yeah, stuff that's not perfect.
Like the apples that have weird shapes to them that aren't perfectly in apple shape.
Nobility. Anyway, let's give shout outs. Eric, do you have anything to shout out?
Nothing for me. Just enjoying the game and can't wait till what the intrigue is done and the cannons start firing again.
I
We're
mean,
almost there, man.
yeah.
But for now, I'm glad to see the spotlight to our people who have the talent of being able to move their lips more than just trying to bite the food.
Look, you could have got some good food too. That totally would have been a great idea to bring you along.
I can definitely talk to people. Hold on, let me just show you how well I can tell. Where's
Talkie.
Here's how good I am at talking. A sweet +2.
Don't worry, I got you.
So what? I really,
Yeah, I got really cool charisma of a -1.
I really
We're intimidating
am
people.
happy that you rolled a 1 on that check. Henry, do you have anything to shout out?
You have 1 rank in it. Wait,
I
you
have
don't
a
have a
head-
rank.
I have a headband. I have a headband of persuasion. or
Oh,
circle of
God.
persuasion.
But
And
yeah,
I'm not going to say this week, but thanks for joining us. And is it Wednesday yet? I guess.
for me, it's now Thursday, technically.
Oh, gross.
I know.
Thursday.
For you was the worst day for life. For me, it was Thursday.
Yeah. God damn that.
Jeez.
Why did that have to be such a great line in that movie?
Such a good movie, though.
It's just it's weirdly good, and it's like that terrible but good movie. Yeah. Anyway, Momo, anything to
Hi,
show?
you can catch me here on Discussing Tabletop, where I also make references to media from the 1990s.
Man, 90s.
Back in our day.
1990.
Sal, anything to shout out?
No, nothing to shout out.
Okay.
Living life.
Mm-hmm. And Joe.
Ah!
Well, you peeked out, so we didn't hear a lot on the screen, but we understand you screamed.
Yes.
Hi, Tantus Nara and Dracovin. If you want to see more tabletop stuff, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, I do tabletop streams on Twitch in the early afternoons on Tuesday, Thursdays, mornings, or almost noon on Saturdays. Tomorrow, I'm going to do something that's related to this show here. I'm going to be diving into the history and cultures of Galarian elves. I did that for the
Hello.
dwarfs. So yeah, I know. I'm slowly making my way through a lot of the ancestries there. Elves are fun.
What about Dwelfs?
Those don't exist, canonically.
Yeah. And then Friday, I'm going to play some Fallout 4 if you're looking for gaming streams, because I do that every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturdays discussing tabletop, as we said, at 6 p.m. EST. This show's every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Make sure to check it out. And always check out my YouTube side for any kind of tabletop uploaded there. Discord and Twitter are great places to see my random brain farts and me announcing when I'm going live with stuff. That's... I used to announce, I used to have it that, like, before they got rid of that like, when my YouTube videos went live, they would go up on Twitter. And then they got rid of that feature, and I'm just lazy, so I never did that again. When they got rid of the automated stuff. Thanks, YouTube.
Classic YouTube.
They did plenty of terrible things, and good things, but, that's just... Was it more terrible than good? I don't know.
Terribly good.
Terribly good. Anyway, I'm going to say good night, everybody. If it's still Wednesday for you, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. If it's now Thursday, I hope your Thursday ends up well.
Yeah, it's now Thursday. Go to suck the bed.
God. Either way, it's probably just good. Just
Nah.
go to bed. Go to bed.
Wait, but if it is Thursday, you stay awake?
I mean, I guess it could... There's parts of the world where it could be Thursday and you're just getting up or something and decided to watch this before you went to work or something. I don't know. Anyway, bye, everybody. Time zones are weird.